Picture this. Tropical islands with crystal clear water and shallow beaches, rich marine life around every corner, fascinating history that you can still see today, and some of the friendliest people you will ever meet. And the best part? These islands are far from mass tourism, leaving you with a sense of adventure and exploration and offering tons of authentic and local experiences. Welcome to Maluku, Indonesia. Hi, my name is Boris and I want to talk to you about my favorite region in the whole world, Maluku in Indonesia. In fact, Maluku is the #1 reason I started this YouTube channel, and Maluku is the reason why I chose to showcase islands and places that are relatively unknown to most people, because honestly it blows my mind how everybody goes to the same places in Southeast Asia, creating a feeling that Southeast Asia as a region is overcrowded and over touristy. Well, there are parts in Southeast Asia that are overcrowded, but there are places like Maluku. I have been to Maluku a few times and I traveled to Maluku recently to make new content for this channel. I visited some of the nicest islands and I thought, before jumping into the travel vlog style videos, I thought I will introduce the region, because I know most of the people know very little about this beautiful corner of the world. So, where is Maluku? Well, Maluku is one of the easternmost provinces in Indonesia. It is between Sulawesi, Nusa Tenggara and Papua provinces. Maluku is huge. There are an estimated 1,027 islands. Maluku is quite far from the touristy islands of Indonesia, so traveling here takes time. But more about this aspect later. Geographically, there are 3 sub-regions: North, Central and South Maluku, with distinctive geographical and cultural differences. Recently, I visited South Maluku with a quick stop in Ambon, the regional capital in the central chain of islands, because I enjoy visiting islands with gorgeous beaches, and well, South Maluku is full of them. Honestly, for me these islands beat the Maldives. They are on the same page with the Maldives when it comes to beauty, but South Maluku feels remote and untouched, which the Maldives are not. And yeah, I've been to the Maldives before, so I believe my comparison is valid. Maluku is not for everyone though. You can't find comfort like in the Maldives, but you can find everything else. So the islands in the south are mostly flat, with shallow waters around them. It's true tropical paradise. In the central region, you can find the regional capital, Ambon. But probably the most interesting islands are the Banda Islands, which were the original Spice Islands. They played a major role in world history a few hundred years ago, and some historical relics are still there to see. There are plenty other islands worth visiting. One of my favorites is called Saparua, which has a beautiful beach with a 17th century colonial Dutch fort behind it. It is pretty cool. There is a gorgeous island nearby too called Molana, and its beauty is just unreal. The islands in South and Central Maluku are all amazing. But still, probably the most interesting part or the most interesting region in Maluku would be up north, because North Maluku has basically everything. It has awesome beaches, volcanoes and waterfalls, history. You can see World War bunkers, plane and shipwrecks underwater, tanks in the jungle and so on. I'm sorry, by the way, my footage is quite old and the pictures I took, I've been there like 6 or 7 years ago. But if everything goes to plan, I will be visiting North Maluku soon in the future, making new content for this channel. I hope this gives you a good idea why Maluku deserves more visitors. I'd like to mention that there was a civil conflict some 20-25 years ago, mostly in Ambon city, the regional capital, which basically destroyed the tourism industry, and it did not recover yet. But safety is not an issue anymore. Some, for example, remote islands have no commercial accommodation, so I have stayed with local families and honestly, I had a wonderful time. People are just super friendly everywhere you go in Maluku. From the tourism point of view, the biggest issue is the remoteness of the region, but it's a blessing too. Coming here is easy, but it takes time and money. From Bali, for example, due to flight schedules, it took me 3 flights and 2 days to travel to the K Islands in South Maluku. Oh, and it's also good to speak some Indonesian because most people don't speak English, but it's not a big issue. Makassar in Sulawesi is the best starting point for a trip to Maluku if you come from another country. Makassar has an international airport with frequent flights to and from like Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, so like regional flights. And from Makassar there are daily flights to Ternate and Ambon. Once you are in Maluku, you can fly to a number of islands and you can use ships and boats to go around too. The distances are big, so it's better to calculate with weeks instead of days when planning a trip here. In the future, I will make videos about individual islands and my trip, my experiences in Maluku. I'm sharing some practical information too, so make sure to subscribe to my channel High on Low Tide so you don't miss any of these awesome islands, because honestly, the beauty of the islands will blow your mind. I promise you that. As a quick conclusion, just let me tell you this. Maluku is quite probably the most beautiful, unexplored region in all of Southeast Asia. And if you check out my videos, my coming videos, I'm sure you won't disagree with me. Until then, check out my previous videos. I already made a few videos about the start of my trip because I had a crazy start. On my first day in the K Islands, for example, I experienced a huge earthquake with a tsunami warning. So yeah, that was a scary experience, and yeah, it did really happen. So yeah, see you soon.